All right, it is 5 o'clock in the east, 4 p.m. here in the central time zone, where we are watching the potential for some severe weather across the state of Alabama. We have most recently had severe thunderstorm warnings in the south central part of the state in Clark and Wilcox counties, and we've still got a tornado watch in progress across much of central Alabama until 8 p.m. We're going to talk about all of that and much more. The other big story on this Wednesday, December 23rd, is the flooding threat across much of South Alabama. I wanted to go ahead and take a look at some of the radar estimated rainfall totals that we've had over the past 12 hours, basically. And what I'm going to do is zoom in specifically to southern Alabama. And this is, of course, Escambia County, Alabama. You have Escambia County, Florida there. This is Santa Rosa County in northwest Florida. And Conecuh County is here. All of these bright shades of white and gray are indicative of very heavy rainfall totals. In fact, I'll go ahead and put up a few of the numbers on the screen so you can take a look at just how many inches of rain the radar estimates have fallen over the past 18 hours, basically, and upwards of 5 and 6 inches of rain. What we're going to do at this time is go live to downtown Brewton. Stuart Campbell is live on the scene at Burnt Corn Creek. I'm going to step off camera and also take our standoff here. And Stuart, I know that there's been a lot of change over the past several hours in terms of the situation at Burnt Corn Creek. Tell us a little bit about what's going on down there and what you're observing right now.
Yes, thanks. There's a lot of water in Jennings Park right now. The bridges are pretty close to getting water on them right now. There is a rain, I guess you would say, tester to see how high the water is. And that water's not at that, so that's a good sign. But like I said, there's a lot of water around here. The trestle is closed. There's people just come around and see it. I would advise to stay off the road as much as you can, just in case something does happen. Other than that, like I said, Jennings Park has a lot of water on it. I just saw a car almost wrecked. So, like I said, be careful.
All right, and that was Stuart Campbell. He is live at Burnt Corn Creek Park, Jennings Park, in the southern part of the city of Brewton. And you see much of the park is simply underwater right now. A lot of water there in Jennings Park. All of that water, of course, flowing south toward the Murder Creek, which runs into the Conecuh River, and just a tremendous amount of water there in the park, and water levels have been rising over the past several hours. And Stuart is actually going to head over to East Brewton to Murder Creek and also show us the latest there. So Stuart, we'll get back with you in just a minute. All right, and that was Stuart Campbell joining us live again from Jennings Park in the southern part of the city of Brewton. Just a tremendous amount of rain has fallen over Escambia County, Alabama, and the basin for Murder Creek is very saturated. We're going to see that in just a bit. And also the basin over here in the far southwestern part of Conecuh County, very saturated at this hour. And of course, when we have more rain falling on already saturated soil, that creates flooding issues like we're having right now in Jennings Park, as you just saw right here on Red Zone Weather. I'm going to step off the screen briefly and turn on our regular radar product just so we can kind of give you an update of what's going on across the southeast. And here's your tornado watch. We posted this on Facebook, I think it was about 2:20, so about an hour and a half ago. And the Storm Prediction Center issued this tornado watch for much of central and south Alabama, particularly the interior regions of South Alabama. Places like Thomasville, Monroeville, Camden, Demopolis, Utah, also Greensboro, Centerville, Clanton, also Prattville, Haneyville, Montgomery, Wetumpka, all included in this tornado watch box until 8 p.m. tonight. So what that means, we are going to stay aware for the potential for tornadoes specifically in the watch area right now until 8 o'clock. Understand, tornadoes don't have a gear for watch boxes. Tornadoes can happen anywhere, but this is the primary focus zone right now for where tornadoes are most likely to occur over the next 4 hours. So we will certainly be watching that. We've also got a number of counties in central Mississippi included in this particular tornado watch, and you note the darker shades of pink in this particular watch area. And what that means is that watch is actually a particularly dangerous situation there in northern Mississippi and also in the western part of Tennessee. That includes Jackson, Tennessee, and it runs all the way over to Memphis as well. So a particularly dangerous situation transpiring right now in these supercell thunderstorms that are moving through northern Mississippi right now. And let's go ahead and zoom into some of those, because I do see that some of these outlines are bolded, indicating that there is a tornado on the ground. And I realize that we are talking about North Mississippi and not Southwest Alabama, but understand, if you happen to know anyone in northern Mississippi, Tupelo, Oxford, Corinth, all the way up to Jackson, Tennessee. This is Interstate 40 that runs down to Memphis. You've got US Highway 45 that runs across western Mississippi. If you know anyone in this area, tell them to be aware that we've got long track, violent, potentially deadly tornadoes on the ground right now. This is serious business that's transpiring in the northern part of Mississippi right now. And on that note, I'm going to take you on a tour of Twitter, because we've seen several fantastic images over the past several minutes from Twitter of these tornadoes in North Mississippi, I should say. Absolutely unbelievable. And let's see if we can get that to a full screen box. What we're going to do is take you to the Twitter website, and understand this is publicly available. All you have to do is go to twitter.com and look at that. This is a live look, or just moments ago, of a tornado in northern Mississippi. That is a large, violent, potentially deadly wedge tornado on the ground in northern Mississippi. And this is the kind of stuff that we've been warning about over the past several days. This is the kind of stuff that could happen in northwest Alabama over the next 6 hours. So that's why we've got to be weather ready, because of things just like that. It is super important that we have a way to receive warnings throughout the night. I think the severe weather risk, unfortunately, going to extend into the early morning hours of your Thursday, perhaps even later than that 3 a.m. time that we advertised earlier. Some of the models are hinting that we could have some severe development in the morning, perhaps as late as 10 a.m. So we're certainly going to be watching over the next 12 to 24 hours. This is a long duration event, and unfortunately producing things just like this. An absolutely terrible situation there in northern Mississippi. But back to southwest Alabama. What we're going to do is go back to our radar product and show you exactly what's going on across the state. And I know many people are traveling this evening across the state of Alabama and really across the Deep South. And we've got some heavy rain right now, particularly along Interstate 65 from Birmingham down to Montgomery. This is exit 250, where Interstate 459 connects with Interstate 65 all the way down to, say, Prattville and Billingsley in the southern part of Chilton County. Lots of heavy rain there, and a lot of heavy rain going to continue in the hours ahead. And don't forget, we've got this tornado watch in progress until 8 p.m. local time. Wouldn't be surprised if we have more counties in South Alabama, and especially here in the northwestern part of Alabama, as this line of supercell intense thunderstorms continues shifting off to the east at a pretty rapid clip. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens to be a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch that's issued for this region in the coming hours. Let's zoom in specifically on southwest Alabama, show you what's going on right now. We've got a few showers right now over in Washington County, Clark County, Grove Hill sits here. There's Jackson, Leroy, Chatham. These showers are moving off to the northeast at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So understand, all of these are under severe limits. There are no severe weather warnings in progress for any part of any county in South Alabama or Northwest Florida right now. That could change over the next several minutes, but again, no warnings in progress right now. And what we're going to do now is shift gears just for 1 second and go back to Stuart Campbell. He is actually now at Murder Creek, and Murder Creek looks incredibly high from this angle, and I'm going to do my best to get him back in our system in a prompt manner. Bear with me. We are one-man banding it here on this Wednesday, December 23rd. And sometimes when you're doing that, things take just a little bit longer than they normally would. But getting Stuart Campbell back in the board right now, and he's going to give us a live look at Murder Creek. Stuart, there you are. Tell us exactly what you're seeing. And you are standing, where are you standing, Stuart? Are you on the Bruton side or East Bruton side of Murder Creek?
Right behind the Welcome to Bruton sign. Piggly Wiggly's just that way. But as you can see, it is extremely high. I don't think I've ever seen the Murder Creek this high since the last time it flooded. I do not recommend coming down here at all. Waters are very swift. Do not get in the water. I'm sure it's cold. Not people here at all, which is a good thing, but very, very high waters, and I have seen some caution people driving around and warning people not to come this direction, and it's good advice. It is, like I said, extremely high, very fast current, and very wet.
Okay, thanks, Stuart. And if you will, kind of zoom out and give us some perspective of where you are looking. Stuart, I believe he said, was on the East Bruton side of Murder Creek. And for those of you who happen to be joining us from areas other than southwest Alabama, I will give you some context of where he's standing right after we leave this shot. This is Murder Creek. This is the main tributary that flows into the Conecuh River on the eastern side of the city of Bruton down through central Escambia County, Alabama. And like Stuart said, I can see the foam there on top of the water. I see the traffic bridge in the distance there, and incredibly high water amounts. Murder Creek is forecast to crest above flood stage in the days ahead. So, Stuart, we certainly thank you for your time, and thank you for that live report there from the East Bruton side of Murder Creek.
Thank you, Spence.
All right, that was Stuart Campbell, and he was there in the south part of the city of Bruton. And I promised you some context. This is a satellite image of the city of Bruton. And what you're seeing is actually where these two creeks come together at the bottom of this image. This is the city of East Bruton. Murder Creek runs here. Understand, for context purposes, this is U.S. Highway 31, that is Douglas Avenue, that runs through somewhat of the center of the city of Bruton. This is the downtown region. T.R. Miller Mill Company sits right there and extends out here. So this is Murder Creek. Stuart Campbell was actually standing right there at the intersection of Forest Avenue and Mildred Avenue, right there near the Murder Creek Bridge. Of course, most people know the Battle of Murder Creek, and those are our two local high schools, T.R. Miller High School, which sits right there, and W.S. Neal High School, which sits in East Bruton right there on this particular map. And so that's the annual rivalry that features this bridge, right where Stuart Campbell was standing. This water level is very near flood stage, and in the days ahead likely to crest above flood stage. And also the same holds true. This is Burnt Corn Creek on the western side of the city of Bruton. And I would have loved to have had a reporter down in Flomaton to show you the situation about 14 miles to our southwest. But unfortunately, that just wasn't able to occur. But understand, some significant flooding in the days ahead possible, not only here in Burnt Corn Creek, but also Murder Creek as it flows down towards the Conecuh River. So that's an update on the flooding situation. I hope that provided you some context. I would imagine that that's the last view that many of us will get of these two creek levels tonight. Of course, at sunrise in the morning around 7:15 a.m., we'll have a better view of exactly what's going on. And back to the radar we go. And before Stuart called in, we were looking at the radar situation across South Alabama. We've got some showers and storms also in Covington County. These are also under severe limits. Heavier showers right now just to the north of Luverne, just to the east of Greenville in Crenshaw County, and many showers up here around Troy, Bullock County, and Eufaula. So over the next several hours, what we're going to do is continue to monitor the weather situation specifically across this region, Southwest Alabama and Northwest Florida. Red Zone Weather is designed to be a hyper-local weather service that gives you the latest and greatest information specifically about certain locales. And so we are here for Southwest Alabama and Northwest Florida. Before we leave you though, we're going to have one final check of the tornado situation in northern Mississippi. We've got 2 supercells now in progress for multiple counties. In fact, let's go to our other radar product so we can tell you exactly who's under the gun in northern Mississippi, and we'll turn on our county names. No doubt, these storms putting out violent, large tornadoes right now. We see the reports and the damage pictures on Twitter. There is no doubt, if you are in any of these counties, Marshall County, Mississippi, down to Tate County, and also Panola County, Mississippi, currently under a tornado warning. And you saw that tornado right here on Red Zone Weather on Twitter just a bit ago. It's a large, violent wedge tornado that's ripping off to the northeast at a fairly rapid clip. And understand, that is the type of tornadoes that we certainly could have in western Alabama, northwestern Alabama, I should say, in the hours ahead. Lots of rain right now falling just to the south of the Birmingham Metro in Centerville, down to Marion in Perry County, Clanton, Montevallo, up to Talladega, and also Sylacauga. And all that rain is shifting off to the northeast. Understand, just because you don't have rain or lightning back here in western Alabama does not mean that you're out of the woods. So if you happen to be watching us from any of these counties in western Alabama, I know we have a few Red Zone Weather fans in Tuscaloosa. You're not out of the woods yet. This event hasn't even started for these areas. So it is critical that we all be prepared to go to a site-built structure away from windows and doors, preferably in the center of the structure. And again, no cars, no mobile homes this evening as this severe weather threat continues. Here's what we're going to do. The live stream is going to end in about 2 minutes, and we are going to continue to post social media updates throughout the evening. And should we have any tornado warnings for southern Alabama, places like Bruton, East Bruton, Evergreen, Monroeville, Thomasville, these type places here in the interior of southwest Alabama or the interior of northwestern Florida, we will bring the live stream back. It's very easy to re-access the live stream. All you have to do is go to rzweather.com. Or you can go to redzoneweather.com. Same thing. We make it easy to get to this live stream whenever we have severe weather. And we will be back on if we have tornado warnings. Hopefully we don't, but if we do, we will certainly do our best to be here. And of course, social media updates continue on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I've seen that about 50 people have signed up for our Red Zone Weather text service today. If you haven't done that and you happen to be catching this broadcast at the last minute, I encourage you to text the word updates to 51660. That's where you can get all of our Red Zone Weather updates sent straight to your cell phone. And we will also alert you for any weather updates that we have in the days ahead. Obviously, with the flooding threat, weather is going to be on our minds for several days to come. Again, updates to 51660. I get that question a lot. updates, 51660. That's who you send it to, and that's how you get all of our texting updates sent straight to you. So again, showers and thunderstorms continue over southwest Alabama right now. They are under severe limits. We've got a tornado watch, as you can see there in the bottom right-hand portion of your screen, for many counties across the interior region of southwest Alabama. That continues until 8 o'clock. I'm Spinks Megginson. Thanks for joining us for this live update. The live stream ends now, but social media updates continue.